Well, it's great that you could come, Ryan. Thank you.
I'm really pleased meeting you, You're taking out time for me,
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. We've got a very professional team and a great show.
We're trying our best over here.
Come on.
After you.
There you go.
Thank you.
So where would you like to put yourself?
I think there we are.
Very good.
It has to be like very, very informal. So we are here for an informal chat.
Okay.
So what's happening these days?
Well,
Pretty much occupied, huh?
Pakistan is never dull.
You've been serving in Afghanistan also?
No, but I visited often because I was responsible in London in my last job for British policy on South Asia and Afghanistan. So I went often to Afghanistan and often to Pakistan.
You said you met your people over there back in UK, and you said this is the best position you have over here.
Oh yeah, no question. No, this is absolutely.
You're enjoying your job over here.
I love this job. Absolutely love this job. It is the best British ambassadorial job in the world, in fact, because we have a lot of profile back in London. You always want to be noticed, you know. You've got a lot of resources, relatively speaking, compared with other embassies. And we hope that we make some small positive difference here, which is more than we can claim in some parts of the world. So it's absolutely the best job.
One thing is for sure, you're making a lot of difference in the education sector in Pakistan. You're spending a lot of money over here, you're training the teachers over here, and so on and so forth. So what exactly are you doing over here?
Well, I was going to say, actually...
Education, I know you'll talk about education for hours and hours.
I can talk too much about education, but I do just want to say for your viewers, you know, they may think I spend all my time on, I don't know, high politics or something. Actually, I spend more time on education than any other subject. And we engage with Pakistan on education at every level. I think we have more to offer than any other country. So starting at primary level, there's DFID, our UK aid arm, is putting in £650 million. That's about $1 billion, and you'll have to work out what it is in rupees. But for us, it's quite a lot to get millions more Pakistani kids into primary school, to train and recruit 90,000 extra teachers, to provide, I think it's about 6 million extra sets of textbooks, but really to try to transform primary education. At next level up, if you like, we've got a lot of better off Pakistani kids taking O-levels and A-levels, which builds a really strong link for when they go on to university. And we have record numbers of young Pakistanis studying at British universities, and increasing links the other direction too, getting British universities to come and invest in Pakistan. We saw, I think, 17 new partnership agreements last year between British and Pakistani universities. I warned you, I could go on.
Yeah, I know.
I just think it's so worthwhile, the engagement between the two countries. Both countries benefit from it, and they benefit for the long term, because we have young people who've had experience of each other's countries in this way, which really builds better understanding.
You know, there's a crunch, there's a financial crunch all over, and you people are spending a lot of money over here on education. And what exactly, can you tell us in detail, specifically like the primary sector? Your people are investing in the primary sector. You want the kids to go to the school. How do you manage all these things? Is there a campaign all over, or what? How you cannot people over here, the economic conditions are so bad over here. So they would like to send their kids to a workshop or some place where they can make some money.
Yes.
So instead, asking them to come out of their houses and study. How is it possible? How can you manage that?
Look, the first thing to say is the UK is not going to make a massive difference by itself. It's only Pakistan that can transform its education, which it does need to do. But we hope that we can help make some difference at the margin, and we're trying in lots of different ways. We're working with media and civil society to raise consciousness about the education emergency that exists here in Pakistan. We're working with provincial governments on management of the government education sector and on unleashing the power of the low-cost private education, because every parent wants to send their child to school. Not all of them can afford it. So we're also providing funding, especially for young girls, a sort of stipend through a voucher system in Punjab that will make it easier for poor parents to afford to send their daughters to primary school. You made the point, Rana, very fairly about, you don't earn any money by going to school, but I think my view is that in the 21st century, you cannot find your way in the world if you cannot read the signposts. And for anyone who wants to be an electrician or a driver or something, they have to have basic literacy. They need primary education. We are now looking at what we can do to support the vocational education sector. There's an experiment.
That's very important.
It's very important, I think, because most kids, if they get through primary school, are going to be interested in going and getting a skill to earn money, and we're looking at how we can support that. There's a very interesting UK aid pilot project in southern Punjab at the moment, which is giving very promising results.
What about this, celebrating connection thingy? I've heard about it, we've gone through it, we've seen it happening. What is it all about, celebrating connections?
This is it's a little media campaign that I and my mission are running to try to raise awareness about the really strong links that exist between Britain and Pakistan. We're focusing on just 5 areas. There are many more, but education is one. Aid in general is another. The development effort we do with our partners here. What else? Trade. There's also a focus on sport. We're hosting the Olympics and Paralympics in 2012, and something around the very powerful links between our peoples, the people-to-people ties. So we're encouraging people to visit our UK and Pakistan website or follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We're showing some, I hope, interesting videos about aspects of the relationship that people might not know about. The belief, the contention is that if we understand each other a little bit better, we can work better together. So we're trying to bring out the strength of our ties.
Okay, that's a very good initiative, to tell you very frankly, because don't you think we have like strong ties? Because, whatever system we have in the rail system we have in Pakistan and India too, that was like given by the Brits, and it still exists. Like 90% of that railway lines and the engines and everything, the infrastructure still exists, and that's like a big thingy. And the ties, because there were like so many people over here who are like they're like this. That's with right. The Brits, family connections, and that probably goes with the people-to-people contact.
That's right.
So how can you make them more stronger? Is there like
well, I think it's both making them more strong and also making people aware of how strong they already are. But you're right, there's a lot of history. There's railways, there's irrigation system, the canals and so on. I prefer to dwell on the less easy to measure bits of our history. We do, I think, still understand each other better than most other countries do.
Very true, very true.
And that's important. And that's fostered by the modern links between the two countries. So not just the history, but all those people-to-people links you talk about. We have 1 million British citizens of Pakistani origin, many of them Kashmiri, many of them from Punjab, but also from all parts of Pakistan. And they help cement things together. They are emerging into British public life and bringing their Pakistani identity and culture with them. So into business and politics.
In the UK, people like still like using hubble bubble over there, sitting on the side of the roads, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's all part of the rich tapestry of the modern Britain. We're a very diverse. We like to think a pretty tolerant society, and we've got lots of different ethnic communities. But Pakistanis are the second largest ethnic community in the United Kingdom, and they're making a really important contribution to public life. We now have a British Pakistani in the cabinet. We have them as members of Parliament and in the House of Lords and so on, but also in business, in showbiz, entertainment, in our cricket teams. I'm happy to say, and that's just a small part of the links. You know, Mushtaq Ahmed Pakistani is the spin bowling coach for the English cricket team, and clearly they've got a lot to learn about dealing with spin bowling. So there's sporting ties.
Our cricketers are very good spinners.
Yeah. There's a lot of trade between the two countries.
What about the trade? You know, there's a lot of like cell companies over here which are into trade, and you know, what else can be like done over here? Are you people ready to invest in Pakistan, or
absolutely.
you encourage trade from back
Both.
UK? Both.
Okay. Rana. Yeah, I mean, we're very ambitious about this, and my government
and people have set a target also.
Yeah, we have, of doubling trade. We always say that. I think we will actually achieve it, but I don't think that's actually good enough. I do think, given all the links between our two countries, and you know, it goes on for trade. It's about common law, you know, and legal systems, common language we can work with. I think Britain should be the number one investor in Pakistan and not just the number 2 or 3. And I think our trade should really grow beyond the £2.5 billion target that we've set for achieving over the next 3 years. And there's really no reason why we can't do that, except the requirement to overcome misperceptions in the United Kingdom about Pakistan. British companies who are already here, and we have 100 or more big British companies, household names, are doing very well. And know that Pakistan is a place where you can do business and make a profit. Those who are not already here are scared. They see on the television the stories about terrorism and violence or political instability or corruption, and they think, no, thank you.
They want to stay back.
But actually, the media picture. The media picture is a bit distorted, and it's not just Britain that is, not just British media that is giving that picture. You're far more likely to have a traffic accident than to be at the scene of a terrorist incident in Pakistan. You know, I mean, Pakistan has suffered worse than any other country in the world from terrorism, and that is really awful. But it doesn't prevent ordinary life from continuing. This country is very resilient and it's very hospitable for business. So I don't see why we can't boost our trade.
I really appreciate you thinking that way. You think that you're very clear about this thing, that Pakistan has suffered a lot from this war and this terror activities, and we have suffered so much that but the realization is there. That's the best part.
Well, I think we need constantly to remind ourselves of that. I mean, it is extraordinary how little people in Britain and in Europe understand the sort of suffering and sacrifice that ordinary Pakistanis have gone through and are going through. And I think a bit more empathy, a bit more sort of understanding would be really good for ties. So, yeah, I'm very clear. Pakistan has suffered terribly, both your military and ordinary citizens. The kind of things that have happened here would be something people would remember, just in 1 week here, people would remember for a decade in the UK. And ordinary people are really hurting in Pakistan as well. It's not just the terrorism, but the inflation, for example, economic difficulties. And I think we need to really understand how people feel in Pakistan. My hope is that this Celebrating Connections campaign will speak not just to a Pakistani audience, but to a British one, and really boost that mutual understanding.
What exactly are you doing, for those investors which are back in Britain, to give them a clear perception of things that all is not bad in Pakistan? There are so many companies, as you said, they are very much functional in Pakistan, and they are making money also. So what can be done other than media? Okay, fine, media comes up with the negative sort of a picture, telling them and scaring them off. But what else can be done?
Well, you have to fight that picture. So I think a key thing is the media, and I do talk often about misperceptions of Pakistan. But I also speak at business forums in the United Kingdom about Pakistan and about the opportunities that I feel British business is missing here. We do send trade delegations here. We've had one in the last couple of months. I've just succeeded in persuading Lord Green, who is our trade minister, to come and visit Pakistan for a few days, and he's gone back really enthused and understanding scale of opportunity here. So he's going to be an ambassador for me, I think.
Okay. So you're working on those lines.
Yeah, lots of different levels.
We really appreciate if you could send some Coopers over here,
Another thing, it's worth
Why
saying...
don't you put a plant of Mini Cooper over here?
Well, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. That would be great, People in Pakistan love Mini Coopers.
We're also fighting, because it's good for us, to open up the European Union market to Pakistan.
You are the people who are in favor of this thing. The Pakistan for European Union. European Union, Pakistani market should be open for them.
Yeah, and that's going to be good for Pakistan, but it's going to be good for us because we hope that Pakistani companies wanting to trade into Europe will set up operations in the United Kingdom.
What about this 2012 games? What are you exactly doing over there?
Well, it's more like what we're not doing. This is, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for my country to show the world what we are, what we're made of, a mix of history, including ties with Pakistan, and of modernity. We're very innovative and open trading country and economy. So we're welcoming the world. We literally...
welcoming the world, and there are some issues, the visa issues, so which Pakistani had been facing in the past. I think those have been taken care of.
I think we really have. I think we have really nailed that. I'm hoping. We had some very serious delays while we reshaped our business model a couple of years ago. But yeah, let me just sort of nail the myths. You do not have to wait long for a British visit or family visa. 5-6 working days at the moment. That's it.
You sure?
If you're a student, the normal turnaround time is 4 working days. I think we managed to get pretty much every single genuine student to the UK on time for the start of their courses in the last academic cycle. If you're looking to settle in the UK, our target turnaround time is 12 weeks, but we're actually doing it in 9 weeks now, which is pretty rapid by international standards.
That's
so
really
I think we actually have a good story to tell on visas for genuine visitors. We're not very friendly for people who are planning to overstay or who are running rackets, and I'm afraid Pakistan is very entrepreneurial in the visa fraud business, so we do have to be fairly careful.
But this is very encouraging, because there was a time, people had to go through, wait for long and long and the students were missing their semesters and all those stuff, and now this has been taken care of. This all happened when you were here, or it happened before?
As it happened, I may have played a small role in it, but it's actually my colleagues in the UK Border Agency who have really made an effort to improve our standards, I think. And it means, if I can take you back to the Olympics and the Paralympics, that we will be open to the world this summer for these amazing games. We are working closely with the Pakistan Olympic and Paralympic Associations to make sure the teams get there smoothly and have a great experience, but we're hoping there will be plenty of Pakistani tourists as well to come and watch it.
They'll be there all over from the world, you know. Sport thingy and people-to-people contact, and they're celebrating connections and all those stuff. It's a good initiative, and especially, you know, people used to, the perception of this thing that visa, you apply for a visa, it's going to take like ages. That has been taken care of. What else you see over here? Like politically, you think the democracy, we are like, people are ready for democracy in Pakistan, or you think that democracy is working in Pakistan, or will it take some time in Pakistan to like flourish and all those stuff?
Well, nothing happens overnight. Let's be realistic, but we will do what we can, and I hope that ever stronger relations between our two countries will allow us to play some constructive role. In politics, we can't do much. It's mostly for Pakistan to sort itself out. What I try to focus on is the condition of ordinary Pakistanis. That may sound odd for an ambassador who spends his time talking to government ministers, but what I've got in my head all the time is whether this is going to make a difference on the ground for ordinary Pakistanis. So our engagement, for example, on trade and our engagement on development are both intended to boost Pakistan's prosperity for ordinary Pakistanis, because that will be good for us. And our advocacy for democracy in Pakistan is because we think that although it takes time for a democratic system to take root, and although a democratic system doesn't always produce the right answers, it is the only real way for Pakistan progressively to involve its citizens, the ordinary people of this country, in the decision-making about their country to get it right for them and for their children. So we're strong supporters of democratic development in Pakistan.
We're paying a lot of price for this democracy, don't you think so?
You've paid a very high price, though, for political instability over the years, the cycle that Pakistani politics seem to go through. And I think achieving a greater level of political stability is really important for Pakistan to be able to focus on the issues that affect ordinary people rather than playing political games, to build the institutions that will deliver prosperity and social progress for you, and to make it easier for countries like the United Kingdom to engage with Pakistan.
So you think that you'd feel more comfortable if this democracy is like grooming and it is like, you know, strengthening, and it will make things easier for the...
I think my belief is that
for you to like,
for all the sound and fury in the Pakistani media, I do believe that Pakistani democracy is putting down roots and is stabilizing. And one of the core wishes that Britain has for Pakistan in the next couple of years is to see one elected government through credible elections hand over to another elected government. That will in itself be an important achievement that I think Pakistan can celebrate, and we along with it. So there is, you know, that's another dimension of the relationship. But I repeat what I said at the beginning. I don't spend that much time on politics compared to some of the other stuff we've been talking about.